Why do I want to talk about when to follow the law? Well, California just lifted its stay-at-home order. It is January 26th, Tuesday morning, about 8:40 a.m. and there you go. California lifts virus stay-at-home order and curfew. I wasn't really aware there was one in place in that I was just abiding by it for the longest time. Like they turn it on, they turn it off, they turn it on, they turn it off. I really can't keep track. I mean, I kind of knew there was one in place. I didn't really, what are the consequences? I mean, there's like a curfew police. I don't really, not that I know of. And so I'm makes me think about when to follow the law because I've seen all these posts recently when California lifted its stay-at-home order. Everyone's like, "Oh, let's go out, let's go meet up," and there's two ways to look at this, right? Like, um, we're at an all-time high on infections, so I hear, right? Like, I have to think that the news could be lying to me, right? But all the sources are saying that infections of COVID-19 are at all-time high. So, but also on a philosophical level, do I think people should be forced to stay home? Do I think businesses should be forced to close? Do I think people should have the choice to leave their homes and patronize businesses that they want to? So that's a different story, um, and it's not even political. It can be, you have to mix. What you're doing now is you're looking at economic interests, right, versus health interests, and how they're both one and the same. Because if people can't pay their rent and they can't buy food to feed themselves or their families, they're going to starve and they're going to die. So if COVID doesn't get them, starvation and lack of shelter will get you. So that's kind of on a real level. You don't when you're starting to face homelessness or joblessness or starvation, COVID starts to kind of take a back seat in your head, right? When you're kind of in survival mode, then then COVID, well, whatever, I'm about to starve to death. Who cares if I get sick kind of mindset. So we don't want to be there. Um, but that leads me back to when to follow the law. So do we need a law? Sometimes we do, right? Perhaps we do need laws like if masks are a thing that we need to do, right? Um, there's some people, there's a handful of people, how many people I don't know. I'm not one of them. That say, well, it should be your choice to wear the mask, right? Well, here's the thing, and I'm gonna skip ahead. I didn't want to go here yet, but there's two kinds of laws. If you want to group laws into groups, right? And if I want to start grouping things, right, making it clear what things are. There's two kinds of laws. One kind that's arbitrary, right? That on its own it doesn't really make much sense unless everybody gets on board. Those arbitrary laws, but what I mean is laws that require everyone to get on board. That the violating the law on its own doesn't mean you're a bad person per se, but that it requires everyone to get on board. And one of those laws is one we're very familiar with. We see almost every day if we go outside, is street lights. Street lights and four-way stop signs. Okay? Like, we all know how bad of a ticket it is if you run a red light, a ticket. Or perhaps the disaster that you may cause, right? The ticket is to reflect the potential danger or the consequence that you would cause. But let's say you blow through the red light on accident. It doesn't mean anything other, to say that you're a bad person, you're an evil human being, or whatever. It's an arbitrary law, and it requires everybody to get on board for the community work, right? Like if you have one or two people just always blowing through the red light, the light system doesn't work, right? Kids are going to get killed. No one's going to trust that when it's green, it's safe because you always have one or two people blowing through. So for the system to work, everyone has to follow it. And that's one of those arbitrary rules that it's like, well, I want the freedom to, fuck colors, I don't, you're discriminating against purple. What the fuck? Whatever, man, just get on board. He's like, why? Why red? Why green? I don't know, man. People just chose those fucking colors because they made sense. Okay? Why not purple? Why not orange? I don't fucking know, man. They just chose these colors. Maybe there's some psychology behind it. Why isn't red go? I don't know, man. I wasn't around when they made these choices, okay? I didn't give my input. These are just the rules that everybody has to follow. So, that being said, what are the other kind of laws? Because I said there's two types of laws. Other kind of laws that we can generally agree there's an inherently good or bad thing, right? Let's take murder and rape. Well, I think as humans, we can generally agree those are bad things, and we can make rules against them, right? There's no arbitrariness of, let's add stealing, right, from another person. However, and then there's reasons to even justify some of these things, murder, and then United States will give its soldiers the authority to murder other people in the and claim, national defense or whatever. So even some of the society's most heinous acts, such as murder, can even be legally justified. And you don't have to be on board with that. You can or you can't. And then we'll reverse all the way back to abortion, whatever you think about that. And so when do you follow the law? When do you draw the line and say, I have these values that I believe in, and I'm not going to follow the law, or civil disobedience or whatever? And why do I think of these things as I get older, as I think of maybe having a family in the future? I'm like, well, I behave this way, right? But do I want my kids to behave like me, or I would kind of be scared to have a kid like me, to be honest. I don't really would. I would rather my kid be a little bit more behaved, well mannered, and follow the rules. Don't give me any headaches. But then am I gonna be that strict disciplinarian? No. So good luck me. So what motivates me to think about laws, right? So the California lifts this virus stay-at-home order January 25th or 26th. Today I wake up and it's, this is the first day we're going to see how it shakes out. It doesn't affect me because since the pandemic started, I just go to the grocery store. I will admit, a couple times I've been to the beach, right? We've got to go out, but we've chosen to do it at smart times, right? Not trying to get sick ourselves. So, but for me, it's just the grocery store, and then went to the beach a couple times. And the weird thing is that California lifts the stay-at-home order when a record number of people are being infected, right? Hospitals are still kind of overflowing. And this is just what I read in the news. Are new strains developing in the UK? Oh my God, most likely they're already here. And I don't know if it's political pressure to keep his job, or he's just these people are smarter than me and they know how to control these things with rules. I don't know, but for me, just because, right, the stay-at-home order is lifted doesn't mean I'm going to start going out more. Like, I'm doing what makes sense for me. And the worst thing that we've seen that's going on and that has been going on is that politics, when the politicians make it's like, Jesus, it's like 1 week it's this, 1 week it's that. What are your intentions? It's like what's best for your career, what's best for your base versus what's best for everyone, right? Like first of all, I know what I support, right? You know, so I support uh the sense that like there's no reason to like shut businesses down. There's no reason to do it on both ends, right? Like, well, like on when you shut all businesses down, right? They're like they have no chance to survive, not even a chance, right? So, um, but if like if you give people a chance, right? Okay, now it's not that I disagree with the stay-at-home order. It's like what was one necessary in the first place would maybe be the question, right? Um, right? Like if it, I don't know. I don't even know what I think anymore. I'm just see. This is why these vlogs are vlogs. I'm kind of spouting my thoughts. I may disagree with myself at a later time. I'm kind of I don't really hardcore agree with a lot, but I don't know. Some of these things are maybe I have stronger opinions about, right? I'm pretty open-minded. You know, I'm willing to listen to evidence, uh, and because we don't always have the right answers, right? I'm willing to look at the data and say, okay, based on the data, really weird solution is the right solution. Um, and well, I'll leave it at that. I guess you know what's going on? I don't even know. Am I getting the vaccine? I mean, I guess I will be. You know, just freaking fall in line. Like my whole life, we just fall in line, do what everyone tells us to do. I mean, I don't know. It's just all very scary times. I mean, I guess a lot of people I know have been getting the vaccine. Seems to be okay. I don't know. I don't know, guys.